just like it says literally, it's not for little kids. But it's also not for little kids who are little kids in their heads. It's not for children. It's not for men who are in their 50s who still experience life as a child, who are still, to some degree, to a large degree or a minimal degree, children, immature. They're easily upset. They're easily affected by the outside world. They don't have a good handle on their life. They're dependent on other people, and so on. So it's not for kids physically, and it's not for kids psychologically either. No matter what your physical age is, completely irrelevant. Whoa. Yeah. So, what romantic love is. Romantic love, despite it being known as an ideal, I think it is so misunderstood that it is accurate to say that it is an unknown ideal, just because of the degree that it's deeply misunderstood. It's a deeply mature pursuit. It's a fully rational endeavor, as we'll explore in a minute. It is a source of profound ecstasy or joy. It is a response to our deepest values embodied in another person, or multiple persons. It is an expression of the best and highest within us, and it is one of the greatest challenges you can ever undertake, as a man or as a woman. There's only one in here, but for any of you watching later on the internets, it's not easy. It's extremely difficult. I mean that literally. It is this is the author's claim, and something I agree with wholeheartedly, that it will be one of the, if you ever undertake it, one of the most challenging things you ever do, and one of the most rewarding, as a direct consequence. Perhaps one of the best summaries of this concept of romantic love that I've ever seen is from Nathaniel Branden. My favorite is here. Romantic love is a passionate, spiritual, emotional, sexual attachment between a man and a woman that reflects a high regard for the value of each other's person. The biggest takeaway from this quote is that it's something that's global. It encompasses everything important that you can even name off the top of your head that would be related to this concept. It's all of it at once, simultaneously, in one condensed concept. So to visualize this or exemplify this, you could think of the term personality, which is a pretty broad concept, and you could also think of the term sense of life. A sense of life would encompass, personality would be encompassed within a sense of life. A sense of life would be global. It's an even broader term than personality. It's how you approach everything in life. Not just how you interact with other people, but how you experience your own life, internally, inside yourself. When you wake up in the morning, why you get up. Not just the fact that you're getting up, or how excited you are, or how fucking tired you are, or whatever. It's everything all at once in the same concept. Romantic love is like that. It's not, there are specific definitions to it, but even so, it's very far-reaching, which is why this quote is so good. To sum up, romantic love is essentially the diametric opposite, the exact opposite, of everything you've ever been told. In movies, in the culture, in religion, in schools growing up, government-run schools, in art, in literature, in everything. If you want to know what it is, a good place to start is looking at what you're told, and then the exact opposite of that, to the T. So we've covered briefly what romantic love is not. I mean, the book covers it obviously a lot more in depth. We've covered what romantic love is, and now we're going to explore my top 10 myths to consider for daily life. Things that you can apply, I think, pretty immediately, regardless of whether or not you're in a relationship or even close, or whether it's even of interest to you. I know a couple years ago for me, this would have been like, I was interested in going out and hooking up the chicks in the same night, and that's it. This would have been to me just like, what? Why do I even care about this? I think by the end of the speech, if you do happen to be one of those people, this will really pique your interest. I know when I read this book, it was just a game changer. I mean that in every sense possible. Get it? A little double entendre. So myth number 1, sexual exclusivity as necessity. It's not true. Sexual exclusivity, meaning just being sexually exclusive with one individual person, a monogamous relationship, A does not necessarily result in mature romantic love. So if you get into a relationship and you start dating a woman and it's monogamous, the idea that this would automatically result someday in you guys falling in love or something like that is just complete nonsense. It is so far removed from an automatic process, there are no words to describe it. It is not that. It is the definition of, you just think of it in car terms, as manual. It's something you have to make conscious decisions at every point. It does not just automatically happen, as much as you've been told that. Mature romantic love is possible in non-exclusive relationships. I'm not claiming that this is common or that it will ever be common, but I believe it's possible. That's certainly the conclusion the author makes, and it's something I happen to agree with. And I haven't even experienced that, but it does seem to make sense, despite what you've seen in movies, how it can only be between one man, one woman, or I guess in homosexual relationships too, maybe. But the idea that, yeah, it has to be just one-to-one, I don't think that's true. And we'll get into why in a second. and to really hit on that, when people say that, whether it's a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a random blogger, someone who's just writing on the topic, I think they are oversimplifying an extremely complex topic. There are a lot of nuances between two people, two human beings, that are capable of conceptual thought, and the topic, if you ever read the book, you'll see, even though it's not that long of a book, the topic is immense. It is really, really deep. It is not easy to understand just with a quick glance. Even with a good understanding of psychology and of philosophy, it's not easy. It's something that takes a lot of time and effort to understand. The same way male-female relationships in general, like at this event with all these coaches here you guys see, is a big topic. This is a 3-day event. It's the 10th time we've done it, and we'll keep doing it. And there's still decades to go before, if not ever, that we fully, completely, definitively, finally understand it, in spite of the coaches you guys have seen who have fantastic understandings of this, of those kinds of dynamics.